Godzilla and his mechanical clone get a weird yet nice looking colorful update in Funko Pop form. Today I'm taking a look at the Funko Pop Retro Futurism Mechagodzilla and the Entertainment Earth exclusive Godzilla. It's geeking time. Welcome back, everybody. So I love Godzilla. I cannot stress that enough. I don't do enough Godzilla on this channel. And I do feel like every time I do Godzilla, it's always hit and miss. Now, I did find these at a local store in my city called Winners. Now, Winners is basically the Canadian equivalent of your Rossi, or sorry, Ross. Ross is another store here in Canada. Your equivalent of your Rossi, your TJ Maxx. So we have two stores called Winners and Marshalls, which I do believe Marshalls is in the United States. Found these there. Now we've got the original Mechagodzilla right here, and we have this one right here, which is a Entertainment Earth exclusive holding the plane. There's, I think, total 3 in the set with a regular Godzilla, which I did see the regular Godzilla, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like this Godzilla a lot better. And I know that I love Godzilla so much that I'd love to get the whole entire set, but honestly, it was the same kind of figure, just that that figure was not holding any airplane. It was a lot lighter pink. I don't know, I just thought this one was a lot nicer. If ever I can come across this other Godzilla, the regular one, maybe I'll pick it up if I do find it and it's a good price, but I thought it'd be nice to look at these two for now. So today we're going to take a look at the regular standard Mechagodzilla, and as well as the Entertainment Earth exclusive, although it does say Funko Shop, exclusive Godzilla Funko Pop. So sit back, get yourselves a snack of some sort, get yourself something to drink. Let's take a look at Mechagodzilla and Godzilla one by one. Can't see it, but behind this camera there's a bunch of other figures to do comparison with, so I'm surrounded by a bunch of figures. Anyways, here we're going to start with our Mechagodzilla Pop. This is from the Pop Movies line. This is number 1,889 in the line. Spoonie pointed out, how many pops have they made to get to almost 2,000 movie pops? One too many damn Funko Pops. Now I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna say it right now. I am not particularly a fan of Funko Pops. I like the idea of the Funko Pop, but I try not to buy them. Yes, when this channel first started, I went crazy and bought a lot of Funko Pops because I kept saying they're for fun. And yes, they are. Last year we heard the unfortunate news of Funko potentially going out of business this year. If that's true, I have no clue. I have no updates on that. But for the time being, if I get Funkos as a gift, I'm not going to say no to it. The only pops that I'm going out of my way to grab are unique looking pops. Like, these were unique to me. I love Godzilla, and this is something more for me to add to my collection. It takes a lot for me to want to buy a Funko Pop today. And that's the reason why I grabbed these Funko Pops. That sentiment out of the way, let's take a look here again at our Mechagodzilla. So again, this 1,889 in the line. Again, you got your packaging that Funko is so synonymous with. The top of the head, you got the official Godzilla logo up there. On the side, you have a really nice picture of the background. It looks like it's a carnival or something going on, or it's fireworks. Mechagodzilla, and then on the back, you've got the other figures in line. There's that regular Godzilla I was telling you about, which I was like, that's nice, but I really like this one here. So, okay, maybe not the same exact colors, maybe a little different, but there's something about the Entertainment Earth one that I liked a lot better. So it's only 2 in the line plus the exclusive. So it's not a lot that they put out. And when was this released? Is there a release date on here? What does this say? This was April 10th, 2025 that this was released. So we're almost a year into taking a look at this. All right, so what we're going to do, we'll crack him out of the packaging and we will compare him to a couple of pops. And let's take a look at our Mechagodzilla. Look at that. There's our Mechagodzilla. One thing I will say was really neat when I got him out of the packaging, there was this little slip behind him, which you saw in the picture. So you can display your Mechagodzilla or your Kiryu, whatever you want to call him, with this little picture right there, but it's really nice. I keep them in the boxes, the Funko Pops, unless I'm running out of space, then I might take some of these out, but no. Until then, I leave them in the box. So really nice little piece of cardboard that comes with our Mechagodzilla. Now, when I got him out of the packaging was cracked up, and this is the first time I took him out of the box. So I don't know what happened at Winners when I bought this, but maybe the employees were just tossing them around. Not quite sure, but lo and behold, here we are. Let's get into our measurements of this Funko Pop. Now, Funko Pops are normally, I think, like 3.5 inches or something like that. This does not look like a 3.5 inch Funko Pop. Let's take a look with the measuring tape. So this is going to stand from the top there. Well, he's about 5 inches, which that gives us in centimeters about 13 centimeters. So not your standard sized pop, just a little bit taller. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring him into comparison to the other kinds of Funko Pops that are regular size. So let's bring in what we took a look at last year, Toxie. Another random Funko Pop I had lying around. I was like, why not? I like this movie. So there he is next to Scott Howard from Teen Wolf. And since this is a mecha figure, let's bring in comparison next to the Voltron Funko Pop. Look at that. Look at him next to the Voltron Funko Pop. Very cool. Let's move Scott Howard out of the way. And, oh, sad, since he is a mecha figure. This was another one I had lying around. This one was in my collection. Here he is next to Mecha Snowball from Rick and Morty. So there you go. He is not exactly the standard sized Funko Pop, but he's not exactly a deluxe 6-inch Funko Pop either. He stands on his own as his own thing. Yeah, I do comparison time in the beginning, so whatever. It is what it is. So here, let's take a look at our Mechagodzilla. And look at these nice blues, and I guess that's teal color. It just looks very nice. And this is one of those cases where our Mechagodzilla does not look like a Funko Pop. I think he looks so nice. And one thing I will say, when they go ham and cheese on these Funko Pops, they really put in all the detailing. So like, yeah, it's got your Funko Pop eyes, but again, it doesn't really look like a Funko Pop. They did such a good job. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really praise Funko, but I will give praise and credit where credit is due. Look at the jaw. Look how nice that looks. I like the wings. I like the top of the head. This just screams like it doesn't even look like a Funko Pop, like I keep saying. They got the dorsal plates done really nice on the back here. Like, let's go, Funko. You did a great job on this. And I'm not going to lie to you. I think that maybe if they would have done this, they probably have, because I don't collect Funkos too much. If they would have done this in the regular Kiryu colors with the grays and the black, it still would look nice, but I think this just pops and adds something. Like, you got a little detailing down to, can we see that? Down to the hand, you know? Like, look at the details on the fingers. The details on the knees. There's so much detail on the feet and toes. There's so much detail. Like, all the lines going on the legs and the thighs. Just going around. Like, they didn't skimp. Okay, obviously down to your feet, you know? Whatever, fine. Gotta have a flat surface. But it looks just so great. I find this very much looks like a mecha figure. Does the jaw move? No, it doesn't. I thought maybe it would have moved. And even on the inside, look at that. There's, you can still see on the inside too. Can you see that? Can the camera pick it up? You see the cannon blasters on the inside of his mouth. The amount of thought and the amount of sculpting detail that went into this Mechagodzilla figure, very cool. It's just a little section, so there's no, like, some Funko Pops have rotations in the head, sometimes in the arms too, but there's nothing. There's nothing. It's just a little staction piece. But wow, he looks really cool. I like this a lot. Really happy that I picked this up for the collection. And like I said, even the little accents, you know, going back to the paint, even the little accents. Look at what they did there. The shininess. It's all in the little details. All in the details. So he looks like a fantastic Funko Pop. I love this. I'm a huge fan of Mechagodzilla. I always have been. I was excited when he was introduced in Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, did they execute him that well? No, I don't think not that great, but nonetheless, it was still a cool design, and you can't go wrong with Mechagodzilla. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove Mechagodzilla, and we're going to bring the Entertainment Earth exclusive Funko Pop of Godzilla in. All right, so here is our Entertainment Earth exclusive Godzilla Funko Pop. Now, here's the thing. I wouldn't think that this was an Entertainment Earth exclusive. Look at like the label here at the bottom. It just says Funko Special Edition Original. I don't know what that QR code entails. If you want to scan that, like, be my guest, go ahead and scan that. I really don't mind because I am not going to be using that QR code, but go ahead if you want to scan it, it's yours. Anyways, you could not tell that this is a Entertainment Earth exclusive figure. You would think that this is a Funko store exclusive, but nonetheless, it really is. All right, out of the way. This is number 1,894 in the Godzilla line. What is going on with my camera? It keeps doing weird things. Yeah, so there you go on the side again, top of the head, the official Godzilla logo. You've got your side. It looks like, you know, a bunch of volcanoes and stuff, the mountains. And there you go on the back. And there is, again, that Godzilla that, you know, that it's supposed to be in the regular line. And then on the bottom, is there a release date? Yes, there is, right there. I don't know if you can see that as I'm knocking my camera. This was released in, and if you can't see it, it's okay. Yeah, same day, April 10th, 2025. So, and this one feels a lot heavier, obviously, than our Mechagodzilla. I don't know what is going on with the camera. There we go. This feels a lot heavier than our Mechagodzilla. Let's crack him out of the box. And again, we'll compare our Godzilla to other Funko Pops and a Bandai figure. Well, there he is. There is Gojira. And again, same thing like Mechagodzilla. He comes with this, again, this background. So we got a nice background. If you want to put that behind Godzilla, you can. It would still look nice, but again, I don't display them with these things. I display them in the packaging. They stay in the packaging. So here's our Godzilla. Again, let's go ahead and measure how tall he is. So from the bottom to the top. Let's see, he is 3.5 inches. So he's a regular sized Funko Pop, and he stands 9 centimeters, just a little over 9 centimeters. Now let's bring in some comparisons. Let's bring back in our Toxic Avenger. So he's just a little bit taller than the Toxic Avenger figure. And same thing, he's just a little bit taller than our Scott Howard from Teen Wolf. Okay, let's compare him to the original Godzilla that Funko released back in the day. Let's bring in the original Godzilla, the puppy dog looking Godzilla. So there he is compared to that Godzilla. Yeah, the puppy dog looking Godzilla. And you know what? We took a look at this last year. I think this is from Deforms. I think that's what it's called. Let's take a look at the Bandai Gamera. Let's compare him to the Bandai Gamera. So he's not much shorter than the Bandai Gamera. There is your comparison, and that's if you want to know how tall this Godzilla figure is, if you want to add it to your collection. There you go. And I gotta say, he does look a lot better than this Godzilla by a long shot. All right, so let's take a look at our Godzilla, just like we did with our Kiryu. So look at the detailing on this guy. This guy, what sold it for me is really the colors on him. I love colorful figures. I know Pixel Dan said that too, but it's the truth. There's something about colorful toys that just make them pop. I really love the blend of the purplish color here with the orange and the blacks and the yellows. It just looks so very nice. All the detailing on the scales from the top all the way to the back. The dorsal fins are molded very nicely, and I even like the grooves and the details on the skin. Look very nice. The toenails, the claws look very good too. The tail looks great. All the way there. And look at the plane. There's even like some detailing in the plane, and I love the two-toned color on the plane. That looks very nice. Even the claws, the gripping hand right there. Even up to the nostrils. And look, again, inside, look, there's Godzilla's tongue. All the detail and sculpting that went into this guy. The colors are so beautiful. I love the blend, like I said, of the black and the purple. It blends in so nicely. And all the orange and even some reds, actually. I didn't realize that too. There's some reds in there. They really painted this very nicely. The teeth painted in orange too. That was the perfect choice, I think. I like this blending of shadowing of black and yellow and red. Even down here. I think Funko, I don't know if they released these before as Funko Pops. Like I said, I don't collect too many Pops. But the fact that they went back in and they released variants of these Pops with different colors, this is just so beautiful. It was, again, called Retro Futurism, right? So, again, there is no movement, no articulation in the head, nothing in the arms. This is just basically your action figure. And even down in there, and the black's going around there. It looks phenomenal, if you ask me. I think these are very nice looking figures. You could probably add something in there too. If you had a little tiny human figure too, you could probably add that in there. I mean, or a couple of humans, I don't know. Or maybe if you have like a tower or something like that, you could probably fit that in his hand. It's just open like that. And you know that the plane is fucked. The plane is bugged. But yeah, nonetheless, this is a great looking figure. Nice little minifig. No, those are real Lego. Nice looking Godzilla figure. I'm accustomed to the NECA stuff. I'm not a fan of the Super 7. I find that's way too overpriced. But nonetheless, hey, I haven't bought Godzilla figures in quite some time because of the license changings and all that. But I am super glad that I found this. I might try to go and find the regular one. If I don't find it, I don't find it. I'm not going to go out of my way to find it. But if I do find it and it's at a good price, maybe I'll add it to the collection. All right, let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back.
Lawbreakers. Boomer the Nerd will return after these messages.
Godzilla, a new breed of terror. Godzilla storms with a thundering smash and tail slash. But can it match Cyber Godzilla, shocking the Heat Team with cyber missile fire? Breathing doom, Godzilla's out to short-circuit the cyber monster menace. In the fight for ultimate Godzilla might, who will rule? Only you can decide. Godzilla, Cyber Godzilla, and human action figures, each sold separately.
You're breaking the law if you're not back. We now return to Boomer the Nerd.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I like to point out, the kind of flaws that these figures have. And I'm not saying that these Funko Pops are perfect. I don't think Funko Pops are perfect in any way. Although I will say that the last couple of times that I got Funko Pops, these ones, Toxie from the Toxic Crusaders, I have been very, very impressed with the detailing and the look of the figures. Again, not perfect figures. Are they flawed? I mean, all figures are flawed. The line right there, that could have been fixed. You see some of the linings and stuff. They could have molded that a little bit better, but hey, I'm not going to complain. At the end of the day, these sit in the box for me personally. I do think that some of the dorsal finning at the back could have been painted a little bit better. Same thing with the dorsal fins on Godzilla. They could have added a little bit of black accents instead of just having a full-on color. But again, it doesn't really take away anything. The hands of Mechagodzilla are full-on blue. They could have gone in there and added some teal, some shininess. Same thing for on the toenails, but they didn't. So those are my only actual complaints, is maybe just adding a little bit more detailing in the paint. But nonetheless, these are near perfect for me. I really like these a lot. Very happy that I picked these up for the collection. Very happy that I went back to my winners after initially seeing them at one and passing on them, and then coming back, finding them at a very good price and picking them up. Because I think as a Godzilla collector, even if you're not a Funko Pop fan, which I'm not the biggest Funko Pop guy, I think that these are worthy additions to your collection. Especially if you can go out and find that Entertainment Earth one. I found it in a store, right? When it's supposed to be a website exclusive, I found it in a store of all places, which is like our Ross. So if you find that, I would recommend picking them up, even if, even if you're not a big Godzilla, even if you're not a big Funko Pop fan, but you do like Godzilla, they are definitely worth it for the collection. All right, thank you so much for sticking around and watching the video in its entirety. If you did, I really appreciate each and every one of you sticking around and watching this video. Let me know down below what you thought of these Godzilla Pops and if you have picked them up for your collection, or after watching this video, if you're interested in going to pick them up for yourself. That being said, though, if you are a fan of Godzilla, if you're a fan of figure reviews, you're a fan of, fun, geeky stuff. Or if you've been watching my videos for the longest time and you haven't already done so, please and thank you. Subscribe to my channel. While you're there, click the bell to be notified whenever I got some brand new content out. Also, if you liked this video, you're liking the content that I'm delivering, let that algorithm know. Click that thumbs up button. And also, share the video. Share the video with Godzilla and Mechagodzilla so they have another reason to fight with each other. All right, everyone. I will see you again in the next video. Stay cool. Stay nerdy. Be good to each other. Keep collecting good, fun stuff. Collecting is, subjective. Collect what you like at the end of the day. That's it for me. Have a great day. And as always, it's cool if it's nerd cool. See you later, everyone.